Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like you're surrounded? Like the walls are closing in and trouble seems to find you? Like you're like Jacob, who fled with Leah and Rachel, and Laban was coming after him from behind, and Esau was coming at him from the front. And there he was in the middle, and the only thing that could help him was God to meet him. Well, David knew those kinds of circumstances too, and that's what Psalm 59 is all about. You read in the superscription of the psalm, to the choir master, according to Do Not Destroy, a miktam of David when Saul sent men to watch his house in order to kill him. This is talking about 1 Samuel 19. You remember, David was kind of the star of Saul's Israel. He killed Goliath. He was a mighty warrior, a great musician, and yet Saul grew jealous, and Saul feared that David was going to take him out. So Saul was going to take David out first. And in 1 Samuel 19, you see the story of how Saul sends assassins to surround David's house and ambush him and kill him. And that's what this psalm comes out of. And so David realizes he has nowhere to turn to. He has nothing he can do. David, the mighty man, has become David the hunted. David the warrior has become David the prey. And you see his reliance on God at the start of these verses, just a flurry of really commands of God's. I wouldn't even call them polite requests. It's deliver me, protect me, deliver me, save me, awake, come to meet me, rouse yourself, spare none. David knows he needs God's help. There's nothing he can do. He's trapped, literally. Sometimes we feel trapped. David is trapped in his own home with no way out. And so he needs God to help him. And you see a few times David describing his enemies like this. Verse 6. Each evening they come back howling like dogs and prowling about the city. And in verse 14, same thing. Each evening they come back howling like dogs and prowling about the city. David pictures his enemies like ravenous dogs, a pack of wild dogs ready to sink their teeth into his flesh. They're at the door. They're scratching. They're sniffing for him. They're trying to get in through the windows. And David fears, but David trusts as well. He trusts. He says that they are bellowing their mouths with swords in their lips for who they think will hear us. They say, we are sent by the kings. No one is going to stop us. But David trusts in God. He says, you, O Lord, laugh at them. And O my strength. David, the mighty warrior, calls God his strength. We have this progression in the psalm. There's a progression from evening and night until morning. Each evening they come back. The evening is often, the nighttime is a time of fear. I mean, it's always darkest before the dawn. We have these phrases for a reason, and it's because as the night falls, our fears take control. And our mind can race and ruminate on the things that trouble us. David was no stranger to this. But as the night passed, David put his hope in God. He says, "O my strength, I will watch for you. O God, you are my fortress." And in the morning, David's fears, as he awakes and he's still alive, he sings. And that's the way it often is with God. God uses our sorrows, God uses our struggles, God uses our suffering. And when we trust in Him, those experiences turn to song. And that's exactly what happened with David. Verse 16, "But I will sing of your strength. I will sing aloud of your steadfast love in the morning, for you have been to me a fortress and a refuge in the day of my distress. O my strength, I will sing praises to you, for you, O God, are my fortress, the God who shows me steadfast love." And you might think, and it could be, that this is the pinnacle of the song, but I think there's an argument to be made that it comes in the middle at verse 10. And the ESV says, "My God in His steadfast love will meet me." But I was reading a sermon this week by Charles Spurgeon on this very passage, and he centered it all on this verse. And the old way of this verse says, "My God goes before me, or something like this. Spurgeon's sermon was God's mercy going before. And what I love by that is it helps us picture better that God's help for us is not something that is reactive. That is, God is not a heavenly paramedic or a heavenly police officer waiting to hear a call from us that we need help. And maybe he'll get there or maybe he won't. No, God's mercy goes before us. And that means that it's in the troubles right now. And that in the troubles that we will face and that we will go in, God's mercy will be there too. Because David's troubles didn't end here. He escaped that night, but this is the start of 10 years of fleeing from Saul's men, hiding in caves, seeking help from pagan kings. Anything David could do to survive, he did. And God's mercy went before him in those situations, and David trusted in that mercy. And sometimes our trials can often seem continuous. Every season has its own trials. Layoffs, unexpected diagnosis, wayward children, struggling marriages. We face trials and tribulations in this life. And if we think that maybe God will come through for us or maybe not, our prayers will be weak and ineffectual. But when we trust that God's mercy has already gone before us, it already is in the situations we are going to enter, we can just let our hands hang down by our side and not worry so much about working to receive God's favor, and trusting that God's favor will be there when we need it, just as it is right now. God's mercy isn't a 911 emergency phone call. It's a continual presence in our life. It was there yesterday, it will be there today, and it will be here tomorrow, because God is sovereign over all our struggles. And our role is just like David, to let him be our strength, to rest in his strength and to cease striving in our own power to make things happen, but to trust in his provision of mercy and grace for today and tomorrow and the day after.